What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema
James Shu.
.com, and we have two very important things to talk about. Three important things we got to talk about. Number one, if you have not seen our video with the director of Inside Out, Pixar's brand new film, and then he helped make, direct, produce, write, story, clean up, Toy Story trilogy, Monsters, Up.
Yeah.
Watch that video because this man right here interviews the big dogs, the writer, producer, director of Inside Out. That video is already live. Do not miss that. Second big thing, it is Age of Ultron week. We are getting prepared. If you do not have your tickets yet, what are you doing? Get a hold of me and make sure you're at our premiere this coming Thursday at AMC Town Square in Las Vegas.
You better reserve them because I've already reserved mine for yours.
And it is gonna be a complete madhouse. It's gonna be like old school, thousands of people coming in here dressed up in costume madness. But let's get straight to the video and why you clicked on this video and what we're excited to talk about. Cinemacon, Las Vegas 2015, Chasing Cinema. I have so many things to talk to you about this year's Cinemacon, but before we get into that, for the viewers that don't know, what is Cinemacon?
So Cinemacon is the biggest film convention that we have here in Las Vegas, and though it does cover a lot of what movies are coming out and celebrity status, Cinemacon is actually a convention made for movie theaters. It is for movie theaters all around the world to kind of meet up and talk about the new technology as far as seats, projectors, all that stuff that is going to be introduced into movie theaters. They also have a whole entire wing of a trade show dedicated to the food you could eat. I tested edamame, which is under this company called Edamovie, which would be a healthier option at the movie theaters.
And what'd you think?
And, oh, they were good, but they were not as good as the Oreo churros with cream dipping sauce. That was phenomenal. So I don't know if AMC will be getting them, but I think we should.
Any other good food?
There was a lot of, I mean, there was frozen yogurt, there was a bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, there was so much going on as far as movies and stuff. I didn't spend as much time as I would like to in that food heaven. But we got to explore,
good.
We got to explore different
Oreo churros, bro.
It was really good. But there's a lot of things going on. But Cinemacon really is kind of the foundation of movie theaters getting together and filmmakers and movie studios. Each movie studio is their major studio, from Sony to Universal to Warner Brothers, Paramount, and they're all promoting their works, telling theaters this is what we have coming to you in the next couple of years. There's a lot of major announcements announced at Cinemacon, which I'll probably get into in a little bit. But basically, it's just a huge film convention out here in Vegas.
You know, I know that you hooked me up with meeting the director of Inside Out with Pixar. That was a lot of fun. We did that at UNLV. And then you've been actually running into some celebrities. And I know that you ran into a Las Vegas favorite, Greg Devereaux.
Yes.
The Magic Devereaux, you ran into him?
Yes, I did. He was at the Universal presentation today.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then now we're going to talk a little bit about Hollywood. You ran into someone that I'm extremely 100% just jealous, hate you for it. You met Superman, the Man of Steel himself, Mr. Henry Cavill.
Yes, I ran into Superman, Mr. Cavill, actually just in a crossing. I just so happened to kind of pass by him in the middle of this in-between type moment. I didn't get a picture with him or anything. There was a lot of security around them.
I would have loved that one.
But he was looking very, very huge that day. And I honestly, at first glance, didn't recognize him because he had his huge beard grown out. And
yoked!
It was one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, cool, you know, nice. Wait a minute, that was Superman, you know, and there was a few other situations like that, you know, sometimes.
Tell me about, okay, are we gonna say Henry?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, you know, sometimes as press, you don't want to step on the line and kind of let that fan out of you. You still want to stay professional, so, you know, it's kind of hard always to balance and figure out when's right, when's not.
I know today you ran to, today at the time of this recording, Thursday, you ran into Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I ran into Kevin Hart, and you know, it was also an opportunity where I was like, I probably shouldn't ask to take any photos, but I did say hello to him. I went over and shook his hand, but he had an entourage of about 17 people, like huge. And I mean, I was like, because, you know, we're talking to him, and he has an entourage of all these people, and you can't see him. He hides kind of in between them, and I'm not saying like he does it intentionally or anything, but he was a really nice guy. It's just incredibly hard to even get around to him.
Okay, cool. And then I know you also, okay, so you ran into Henry Cavill, you ran into Kevin Hart, and then on the other side, you ran into, or you not even ran into, but you interviewed, took notes over on the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
We have the sister of the beautiful Rooney Mara, Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, and
Jamie Bell.
Jamie Bell, how's that?
Well, we had 2 interviews with them this morning, because one through exclusively 20th Century Fox, and then one for the award ceremony. So when I was talking to Miles Teller today and Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan, I had this private, intimate one, which is kind of, so they all saw Unfriended. I bet you they're excited. It was really intimate, but unfortunately, there was a lot of unorganization. It actually happened during the exact time during the 20th Century Fox presentation, which is kind of annoying. So a certain amount of press went there, a certain amount of press went to the presentation to see what 20th Century Fox was advertising. But overall, it was an awesome experience. I did, again, get to interview them later in a press conference where basically multiple press is sitting together. They're on a stage, kind of like an NBA and stuff like that, and you get to just shoot out questions. But everyone was very nice. Miles was obviously the outspoken one of the group. Kate really didn't say much at all.
You hear a lot about Miles Teller, like he's very arrogant.
I don't want to start something, like, I'm not sure, but from what I saw, it seemed to me that there was a little tension between them four. Maybe because they were stuck together all day. Like, it wasn't anything to the point where, like, they were rude to each other. But, you could just tell they weren't as very comfortable and friendly as you would think they would be either.
It's interesting you say that because, like I mentioned earlier, is this week is Age of Ultron Avengers, their 11th film, I believe, in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And one thing that everyone says, I'm not even talking about the actors, everyone that interviews them and all that stuff, because that's all I do all day, some loser like that, is they say they absolutely love each other. And you can tell they love each other, you can tell they love to work with each other. And it's interesting you said that, because even since day one of Fantastic Four, there was all these people saying all these things that Josh Trank? Josh Trank was hard to work with, he was a diva, and then all the actors didn't, so that's interesting you said that. I'm
just not sure if they're more of a sarcastic bunch, but there were a few moments where I felt like the sarcasm kind of was just fake, and they were like, oh yeah, he's kind of annoying, but it wasn't. He's kind of truth, I don't know. I might be reading into it. I don't want to start any rumors, because they were all really, really nice. I wish Kate would have talked a little bit more.
How did Kate Mara look?
She looked great. Yeah. She looked wonderful.
I love Rooney, bro.
Michael, it was funny because Michael B. Jordan is in this beautiful looking, suit, and then Miles Teller is just like in a polo and jeans, and you could just tell how they all work together. But Michael B. Jordan also is a really, really nice guy, so that was really fun. It made me kind of more excited for the movie.
Yeah, I'm jacked. That final trailer, or I don't know if it's the final, but the newest trailer,
the latest trailer was really, really good.
Really, really got me excited to see that film.
And I'll be posting the interview with the second interview, the press conference with Fantastic Four, on our YouTube page. We'll be posting a few other interviews with Rose Byrne and a few other people we'll talk about.
Hey, Rose Byrne was banging.
I love Rose Byrne.
God, man, and that
I went out of my way to interview her twice.
In that interview, or in that
so
accent,
lovely.
bro.
She was and she was so nice, like beyond nice. I didn't really run into anyone that kind of was, rude or anything like that. Everyone was super nice. Guillermo del Toro, oh my god, you want to talk about a nice guy? And it's so funny, even Kent was saying he kind of looks like my doppelganger. What is it? Doppelganger?
That's when a piece of poop is off your butt?
No, that is when you have someone looks just like you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But really nice guy. Chris Pratt was entering the back to promote Jurassic World, and all the securities were behind him, and then just a couple steps back was Del Toro, and everyone's like, Chris Pratt! And that was out of nowhere, just, Del Toro! So I went over to him and I was really talking to him, so I had a little bit of a chat with him. I did get a picture I'll be posting on Instagram later, so follow me on Instagram at Jacob Toronto.
By the way, FYI, just so you know, incidentally.
So he was a real sweetheart. I mean, he was probably one of the nicest people that I met this week.
That's so awesome. And then you met my boy, $100 million worth man, Mr. 50 Cent.
He was so nice too. He was, and he was so open. He actually, after one of the press conferences, was talking to us, because sometimes I get it, and I get it's their job, sometimes they just want to get out of there, but 50 was real nice to sit and talk. He was very just casual. It wasn't, because granted, these people do this,
12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours, and they don't just do it at this convention, at that convention, at this press conference. They answer the same questions, because granted, I don't know why, but sometimes press just ask stupid questions. But he was real, like, just casual and being very open. It wasn't anything that seemed predetermined or anything annoying. So that was real nice. He was a really nice guy. The only question I didn't get to ask him was who's going to win, Pacquiao or Mayweather.
Oh, you totally should have, bro.
But we were talking. Totally I actually was talking to him because
he's going to say Pacquiao.
Not many people know this.
Said that
50 is as a movie producer. He's produced a lot of movies that go straight to Redbox and DVD, but as he pointed out today in our conversation, those movies go to other markets. So it's not just a demeaning thing like, oh, it goes straight to DVD. He actually doesn't have, you know, the humongous budget, but he produces the movies that he wants. He's directed one, and today it seems like working with Paul Feig on the movie Spy, which will be coming out soon, that he's really inspired to possibly direct more, and that was the conversation we had. It's interesting.
Dude, that's what's so interesting too. I know this is totally off subject, but it's like this guy is a freaking gangster. Literally was a gangster. Literally shot 6 times, was it? 9 times. Shot many of times. Lived. Came out his album. Obviously started G-Unit. Obviously blew up thanks to Eminem and Dr. Dre. Obviously made a lot of money. Then Smart Water, Coca-Cola, now worth $100 million. Left the gangster scene. Doesn't really do music anymore because now he's into film. Now he's directing. I mean, come on. Even if you hate it or love it, 50 Cent's still on top. Sorry, game.
And he addressed that pretty well. You know, he goes, I love music. It'll always be my outlet. But you know, it got easy for me after a while, and I wanted a challenge. And he said he started acting. And he started acting, and now I want to start producing and possibly start directing. He was teamed up with Paul Feig during this entire, you know, kind of conference. So him and Paul Feig really gelled well off of each other. And you know, he was just complimenting how Paul Feig dressed, but Paul Feig was also a really, really nice guy.
That's Melissa McCarthy's husband?
No. This is the director that usually works at Melissa McCarthy.
Apologize.
Yeah, he directed Bridesmaids. He directed The Heat.
He's doing Ghostbusters, the new one.
He's doing the new Ghostbusters. He did Spy, which is coming out with Melissa McCarthy.
But 50 Cent isn't in Spy, is he?
Yes, he is.
Didn't know that.
Yep, he was on the Spy. Yeah, Jude Law's in Spy. Rose Byrne.
Yeah, I knew Rose Byrne. I knew that. Okay, I didn't know 50 was in that.
50. He doesn't have a major part. I was surprised.
That's fine.
But he's a big name, so they were like, hey, let's get him. You know.
Fitty.
Very nice guy.
Fitty, yo. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Okay, so that was a lot of fun. Rose Byrne.
That was. Just to back up real quick, that was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to do though, as someone like impressed. I was like, do I address this man as 50? Or do I call him Mr. Jackson? Do I call him Curtis? That was really tough.
If I had to assume, it's Mr. Curtis Jackson. He would have loved it more.
Well, his response, someone actually asked him that. They said, what would you like us to call you? He says, whatever you're most comfortable with. That's what I'm saying, like, just such a genuinely nice guy. Big old smile the entire time. A few other people looked like, all right, I'm here, what's going on? But he was so
Miles
excited.
Teller looked like that?
No. I actually
Come on, respect Divergent, bro.
I was gonna ask him for you, but no, I was a little bit awkward.
No, I didn't want you to ask that, bro. Get kicked out of Cinemacon. Okay, so that's awesome. You met mucho celebrities.
Yeah.
Ran into a bunch of people. A lot of people you look up to. A lot of people you respect. A director of Pacific Rim that you respect.
Huge fan of Del Toro, and we got a sneak peek of his latest film, Crimson Peak, which will be coming out in October of this year.
A horror film.
Yeah, he labeled it. He came out and spoke because. So basically, we have your interviews to promote movies, particular or press will go to, and then in between all of these, you have the studio presentations, and in these studio presentations, you'll have like a major executive come out from the company, like Sony or Warner's or Universal, and then they'll introduce their numbers from last year. They'll maybe tease what's coming out in future years, and then they'll have a whole slate where they'll have directors or actors come from a specific movie, show you an exclusive clip or a trailer, and then they'll just keep doing that. So Universal's was really awesome, and that's where Del Toro was to show a peek of Crimson Peak, a peek of Crimson Peak.
Does that look good to you? Pun intended.
Well, you know what? A lot of the footage that we saw wasn't complete. So when it comes to footage and things like that, sometimes you can't really have your critical eye on because some things that you're seeing isn't supposed to be there or not really finished. But I'm just a fan of Del Toro. Even though I wasn't crazy about Pacific Rim, I am excited to see Crimson Peak. One of the coolest things though of today at this event, even though Vin Diesel was there, and I'm sure we'll get into that, was following Del Toro was Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and Gary Gray for Straight Outta Compton.
That actually looks good to me.
Honestly, I don't know about you.
I know nothing about hip hop.
In my younger age, I was a huge NWA fan.
Okay.
And I love that. That is a great album. But if you really look at the history and all the things that they've done for hip hop, and not alone hip hop, but just really like the huge impact they made and that album made, it's phenomenal. So, and Dr. Dre, I mean, if you're someone who cares about being successful, that's a man you definitely look up to.
900 million?
Literally to come from,
almost a billion.
Compton to being what he does today.
$900 million.
It was just cool to kind of see him in person with Ice Cube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's so good. Okay, and then Today, big news, Vin Diesel himself, now he can add to his mantle, no matter how many people make fun of him, no matter how many people say he's a bad actor, no matter what anyone says, he can add to his mantle. Fastest movie in the history of film to hit $1 billion, Furious 7. He came on stage.
Yeah, we had the producer.
Groot himself.
We had the producer of Furious 7 to come out and talk about really the humongous success. It is actually I wrote down, there's a bunch of statistics they shot at us today, but unfortunately I didn't remember everything, but I know it is Universal's #1 picture.
Ever, in the history of Universal.
It is a humongous movie. I think last year, a majority of their major films combined equaled $1 billion. So,
and then this one movie did it in 10 days.
That's incredible. I mean, so obviously the producer came out and they talked about wanting to continue, and then Vin Diesel came out. And I expected it to be really, but Vin Diesel got really emotional because on the clip that we saw, it did show the ending of Furious 7.
Damn, that's the last scene. Hashtag for Paul.
And you could hear the kind of people getting sniffles in the theater. He did get really emotional. And the thing is, Furious 7 was announced at Cinemacon 2 years ago. Cinemacon's been 5 years running. Before that, it was known as Show West. But that's where it was announced, and he kind of went on to say, like, you guys, everyone here in theaters really gave him confidence after seeing the first clip of Furious 7. They were all excited, and now he's here, and he said, it is official. Furious 8 will be here in April of 2017.
There it is. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it is very cool, even though it's like things that you've heard about. It's always great to hear, like, official, this is official,
yeah.
And you're like, oh, hot off the press.
Even though not one person actually doubted there was going to be Furious. Not one person doubted that, but that's awesome.
Even though, like we said, I don't know how you're going to make another ending of that great, so.
Well, now what happens is at the end of Furious 8, he's going to morph into Groot himself.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, he will actually morph into him.
Or you could have like the Fast and Seventh crew, like interact with like the FBI or like the X-Files, even not like the characters, but just like an X-Files type group, and these guys have to go after the Guardians of the Galaxy because like they're superheroes already.
Yes.
After Furious 7, they're superheroes. They can do anything.
You gotta love it.
Another major announcement was from Sony. Sony's presentation was really interesting.
Yeah, I got something to say about that one.
Okay, go on.
No, please.
Well, Sony's pretty much was how they were really great at playing off the interview, One of the trailers they debuted, I cannot think off the top of my head. Oh, Xmas, this new comedy with Seth Rogen and God, I can't even remember who else. But it's the movie starts out with the men who almost brought you the interview on the trailer, which was pretty funny. And they were talking, but their overall message was, we not only survived, but we thrived. And the big announcement with Sony was that yes, Spider-Man's coming back, which you already knew. However, the big announcement was Chris Miller and Phil Lord, or is it Phil Miller and Chris Lord? Well, the Lego movie, Lord and Miller, will be making an animated Spider-Man movie in 2018. In 17, one of the years. A lot of dates got shot at me.
For the movie theaters.
For the movie theaters.
Yes.
So similar to what Star Wars is doing, which leaked earlier this the new Rogue One, leaked earlier this week.
I showed you that.
You did.
That one was leaked.
This guy's on it. I don't know how.
I said you. Go. Sorry.
And then the Avengers thing.
Oh, I heard that was fake.
Really?
I sent you that, right? The after credit scene for Avengers.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I heard that it's fake.
So it is fake.
Yeah, that was fake. Is that crazy?
I believe.
Yeah, that was fake.
It was believable.
Yeah.
It was very believable because
Yeah,
that's
it's
something
fake.
they would do.
Yeah,
They just want us to believe, and then you're gonna go and say,
No, my friend already saw Avengers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dave Michael White.
Where was I?
Makes sense.
Oh, so like Star Wars fashion, where they'll be making an episode every other year and a spin-off every other year. Spider-Man will be making the regular films every other year, and it seems like they're going to try to make the animated Spider-Man films every other year to explore his origins and his backstory, and probably do all the fun stuff that they're not confident that could really sell a major motion picture. Well, really, because I mean, you can't have him fighting Doc Ock in this animated movie and in the real movie. It's just not good. So I mean, we're going to probably see a lot of High School Peter in the animated stuff.
It's interesting. Originally when you told me, I was like, oh, they're gonna make a animated movie one, so instead of giving us the entire backstory again for the fourth time, right?
There was
the third time.
a theater owner behind me who was just like, again? Like he first heard that Spider-Man was coming back, and he's just like, what are they thinking? He was cracking me up. He's just like, again? We don't need to see it again. He was cracking me up.
No, but he's right though, dude. Okay, so we've seen it like 3 times, right?
We don't need another origin
We
story.
don't need another origin story, and so when you told me that, I was like, animated movie instead of give the origin story, I was like, yeah, I guess that did make sense to me, you know? I was thinking that did make sense. So I was like, okay, I could deal with that. But then every other year, that's what I was just like, huh.
Well, that wasn't official. Like,
oh, that's not.
That's not. Well, like what the gentleman said, his plan is that they will make movies as well as they're making the other one. So it wasn't necessarily like an every other year guaranteed thing, but it sounds like they're going to try to keep them every other.
I'm curious though if I want animated Spider-Man. I don't know.
To be honest, this is what I really have to say, and I might upset some people here. There are still some
You
superhero
do that
movies.
a lot.
I know, you're right. Since when did I actually that matter? I honestly feel that there are some superhero movies that have not surpassed their animated, you know, predecessors.
Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Dude. Like, there's a lot of great
Girls
Batman
say
movies.
hallelujah.
There's a lot of great Batman movies, but if you've never seen Mask of the Phantasm, you're missing.
Dude,
Roger Ebert made it a deal to put that on his television show, and his producer was like, no one's gonna go see that because he loved that movie so much. And he's not the only one. That is a great movie.
No, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, if you want me to rank that sucker of the all-time favorite Batman movies, that's guaranteed, I'm sure, top 3.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's top 3.
Yeah,
I haven't actually made my list, but that movie is so good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is really good. But I mean, there's a lot of great animated, you know, and especially now that they're kind of redoing the animated movies, like on the straight to DVDs and stuff, a lot of them are really solid. So I don't mind
That
the whole
Arkham
Spider-Man
Asylum one
thing.
was good too. Harley Quinn, woo!
I mean, it's just like, I don't mind it. Let's
Margot
do it.
Robbie,
I'm all about it. I actually think it's a really interesting step to go. At first, I was like, you know, I was kind of... What?
Oh, I thought that's what you were thinking.
Well, I was like, is that what we're gonna go in at all? Like, I thought that was their main vision. But then he kind of went on, he's like, we'll do this in between this. And I was like, ah, damn. Because I think it'd actually be really ballsy. I don't know if I'm sorry about that.
So in the MCU, we see him live, and then on Sony, we only saw him animated?
You know, like,
I would hate that.
He flies on from one screen to another, and he just turns into a cartoon.
No, that actually, when you say it like that, dude, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
But that would be kind of, but to me, I would think that, to me, that feels different. You tell me another Spider-Man movie comes, I go, oh. You say it's an animated one, I'm like, all right.
Here we go again.
I'm down. So that was another really cool part of the convention. I'm trying to think of the other things. I saw a trailer for Everest, which looks phenomenal. That looks really, really good.
Who's that starring?
There's a lot of people in that. Josh Brolin's in that movie.
And it's about climbing Mount Everest?
It's about a group of people climbing Mount Everest. It is...
or is it like Titanic, using a real thing,
I don't know if this one's based
making
on
a fake story?
I think it is based on a true story. I'm not sure how real it is. I don't really know the event. But it is about the people who climb Mount Everest and hit a major storm. So it's about them getting down from Everest more.
You ever see it live?
I'm not sure.
The soccer team gets crashes and then they do cannibalism on each other?
No.
True story.
I believe that.
Pretty freaking intense.
Well, I don't know if that happened.
That came out like 95 or something. Can you see that?
Yeah, no. Bits and pieces. I remember it though. Straight Outta Compton, we saw that trailer. What else did we see?
A new
There's
one
so
or the
much.
same one?
It was an extended one, so it showed a little bit more.
That movie looks good to me. And I know nothing about hip hop.
I honestly believe, I'm saying it now, is I honestly believe that will be one of the strongest movies of the year.
I believe it.
Man, there's been so much. We saw an extended Minions trailer.
Sorry, I have to see if I have a customer. Okay, no, I don't. Go ahead.
This guy's always working. Just a lot of stuff. So, I mean, there was a lot of trailers, a lot of stuff. I mean, honestly, it's all starting to blend now. There was an incredible luncheon today that focused on independent cinema and how we're going to keep it alive. Julianne Moore and Jay Roach were a part of it. Jay Roach,
nice.
the director of Borat and, you know, a few other really popular comedies.
Beavis and Butthead?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, sorry.
No, you might. No, I'm not sure. He's working on a new film called Trumbo, which I don't know very much about, but Julianne Moore was there. That was exciting.
How'd she look?
She looked good. Yeah. You know, she's one of those people, because I ran into a few people and you're like, wow, you know, because that happens sometimes where you're just like, okay, like Ed Helms. Like Ed Helms looked a little bit different. Like I was kind of thrown off that it was Ed Helms. Julianne Moore looks exactly how she looks.
Like Julianne Moore?
Yes. And she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. And she's pretty. She's, you know, awesome. Amy Schumer I got to meet, and she's just like how she looks. She's beautiful. And you know, a lot of people give Amy Schumer slack for some reason. I think she's hilarious. And I think she's gorgeous.
But your favorite Rosie Byrne?
Oh, she was awesome. I love Rose Byrne. She was so beautiful, but she was just so nice too. So it was like no reason.
And she has the accent.
And she has the accent.
So the triple threat.
One of the stories that we talked about during the interview was how her first day in LA and how her everyone's like kind of talking about, well, how was your impression of Hollywood? Were you nervous? She's like, honestly, the one thing I was concentrating on more than anything was making sure I was driving on the right side of the road. She was just great. I'm trying to think of any other interesting stories as far as celebrities, because I know that's probably the more interesting part of Cinemacon.
Overall, though, while you think of that, how was your overall experience?
It was awesome. Honestly, like, it was really, really fun. It was so awesome to kind of really immerse yourself for a week and all these amazing things that are happening. And you know, you hear people talking about theater dying, and I don't mean like actual live theater, but I mean movie theaters dying, and you hear about people talk about
piracy.
How you don't need, like, people watching, you know, movies on their laptop and stuff like that, and then you see some of the things that we're seeing today. For instance, we were they've had this testing before, but a major part of the Cinemacon was the 4XD, which is a new technology that allows numerous advantages such as scent, movement, wind, rain, fog, bubbles, air. I mean, I can't remember all like 13 things, but that is something that's gonna come. That's gonna be here very shortly, and it's gonna make movies that much more experience. Oh, one of the coolest conventions I was a part of was Interactive Cinema.
Yes, that was cool.
Yes, which is called Time Play, and this company that basically would make the entire movie screen a huge game 20 minutes before.
People.
They love us. See?
People.
I always get applause everywhere I go. Or is that for you?
Definitely not for me.
So before the movie, where they used to play like the 20 or something like that, you get this game. And it's a very interactive, where like you're on your phone and you could drive in a car, or you can play hockey, all in the game with everyone in the theater. And it's also a really genius marketing tool, because you're test driving this car, and it's actually, when you look at the outside, it's a real shot of a car, and it's Toyota. So it's like, oh wow, I'm test driving a Toyota. Maybe I should really go test drive a Toyota. So that was really, really cool. They're gonna make trailers interactive. And what this technology does is, some things are cool, some things I think are neat, like, I don't know, because you have to download an app to participate, right? And that's not hard, that's not difficult, it's free, people will do it. We watched the Hunger Games trailer, and at the end it asked, who's the bravest Hunger Games delegate, or you know, whoever. And it was a poll. Now, I don't know if I would download an app and participate just to do a poll. However, when we're doing this Lego movie trailer, and we're actually driving the Lego car with our characters to save them, it does make the trailer interactive. But I also didn't really take in everything that I was watching. So I was so concentrated on hitting the buttons at the same time, I wasn't watching the trailer. So I don't know if that's only gonna be for pre-trailer stuff, like 30 minutes before the movie, or if that's gonna eventually come. I'm sure it'll eventually one day be how it is. But it's kind of scary, because I don't want people's phones out when I'm watching trailers, and I don't want to actually see stuff. So I don't know, but it was a lot of interesting stuff and technology like that that really kind of made it awesome experience to see what's coming.
What would you think if they took a 2-hour movie and turned it into a choose your own adventure, and the movie would literally every 15 minutes pause, and then interactively out of a theater of 300, we all went to the app and polled, and then that's the next part of the movie we went to.
Well, movies I don't know, but that is actually part of their thing for commercials. So you're watching this commercial, and it has a guy and a girl, and about 15 seconds in, it says, whose story do you want to watch, the girl or the girls, the guy or the girls, and you have a really quick clock, and everyone does majority and it shows the percentages, and everyone chose a girl, and we started following the girl. And we continue to do so as it's split up every 15 seconds. Now, I think that'd be really cool. I mean, it's a cool experience, but you can't, I think it'd be really hard to get emotionally connected, because you're so worried about outside the movie not being fully invested into a movie and concentrating. Because when you're in a movie, you're immersed, you're paying attention, and sometimes, you know, you're watching a movie and like someone can interrupt you, and it's like actually interrupting like something you're like reading, you know, it's like, what, I can't. Like that, I think it's something cool for certain movies and maybe certain trailers and advertisements, but I don't think it would work as a major motion picture thing.
That's fair. You got anything else for us, brother?
Man. Great week. I'm going way more detail than I do right now. In the individual videos that I've been publishing on YouTube, my interviews with Michael B. Jordan, my interviews with Rose Byrne, Paul Feig, all that will be available. Paul Rudd, Alan Arkin, who received a Lifetime Achievement this year, because they do an award ceremony at the end of the night. It was very, very awesome. All that will be posted, and then I actually
on the YouTube?
On our YouTube page.
Okay. Or chasethecinema.com.
Yes, you'll be able to find all that
Either
stuff.
or. And if you don't know, be sure to go to chasethecinema.com's YouTube channel or chasethecinema.com period, so you can see all the videos done. There's like 5 videos a day.
Yeah.
And that way you can get literally updated on everything that made anything matter, anything that rumbled in the world of movie news on chasethecinema.com.
Yeah, so this week, if you go back and kind of look at everything, it really was focused on Cinemacon, especially today will also, and so will tomorrow even, because there's so many interviews, there's so much.
I can't wait to see the interviews.
The interviews, yeah, are very awesome, and then I also, like, right after, when my mind is fresh, because right now everything was kind of going in today with all the interviews and stuff. I don't remember all the dates, but I usually do a breakdown of every event that I went to, which will also be on there. But normally what happens is I talk about movie news and casting updates. For instance, I have to talk about this, because to me, out of all the movie news, Superman and Batman and Star Wars, you want to know what I was like, giddy over?
What?
The fact that ABC is bringing back the Muppets.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Fuller House.
No.
On Netflix. I'm
No.
jacked for that.
That's cool, but they're bringing back the Muppets and they're doing it mockumentary style. So it's gonna be like The Office, and it's gonna follow the Muppets on and off the Muppet Show. I don't care if you guys are excited. That's gonna be so cool. I hope that's real. I mean, that was ABC's definitely bringing it back, but they're saying they want to go to like a mockumentary style. So it'll be like watching The Office, only with Kermit the Frog.
Hey.
You can see like him interact with Miss Piggy like off screen, kind of.
And
you know?
how they really get along. Or do they get along?
That is the coolest thing. There's some news about Beauty and the Beast. Ewan McGregor was cast as Lumiere. Daredevil already achieved. Lumiere.
Yeah, Lumiere.
Well, that's the French way of saying it. It's Lumiere.
I cannot wait for Beauty and the Beast, dude. Emma Watson as Belle, #1. I'm praying, because Cinderella didn't do it. Please, please, Disney, give me all the songs I want to hear.
Yeah, we were talking about that when we
Make it
saw
a musical.
Cinderella.
Make it a freaking musical.
At least A Tale as Old as Time.
Oh my god, dude. If they do, because you know my favorite Disney movie of all time is Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
And if they do that for me, Emma Watson singing, and plus we have.
Well, we don't need her singing.
I do.
Miss Potts. Who's playing Miss Potts? I know who's playing Miss Potts, but I don't remember.
Everyone's been announced. The candlestick is
That's Lumiere. That's
not the
Lumiere.
candlestick. His
Cogsworth.
Yeah, Cogsworth is.
Cogsworth's Magneto.
Thank you. Yeah, Ian
McKellen.
Ian McKellen.
I'm pretty sure I want to say Julie Andrews is playing Miss Potts. No, Emma Thompson is playing Miss Potts.
Yes.
Nanny McPhee. I don't know if she could sing. I don't remember if I ever heard her sing, but I don't know why they just didn't get the original Miss Potts. Jessica.
Or you could have got Jason Alexander again.
But I'm glad they're like making a character just so Stanley Tucci could be in it.
Who is he playing?
He's playing this piano. Like he's not a character. Like they're making him up just so Stanley Tucci could be in it.
Really?
And I love Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci's awesome.
Daredevil got a second season way before anyone thought it was gonna even happen.
Dude, Daredevil right now. I'm in episode 5, 6, 7. Boo, bro. That movie, that Daredevil is freaking fantastic.
Because I wanted to keep you guys updated with Cinemacon, I haven't uploaded one review of any of the Daredevil series.
But you're doing each episode.
Each episode, so that'll be coming to our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually debate. We should do that together, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast when we're all done.
I hate podcasts. You can't see no one, man.
All right, we'll do it here. We'll do it like this.
Anyway, are we done?
I think we're done.
I don't even know if anyone's watching anymore at this point. And if you are, we appreciate you.
I do appreciate that. But you know, it's like this is what me and James do. We sit here and we talk.
No one's listening anyway.
This is what we do. Honestly, this could be like our podcast too.
Hey, don't forget Facebook and Twitter in the description box. Like and follow this guy. You're beautiful. But don't forget to follow my boy Chasing Cinema. This guy, man, you have no idea, bro. Real film opinion from the real mind of Jacob R. Toronto, man.
Oh wow,
gets me jacked, bro.
I know I get you jacked, but do I get you jacked like I will next week? Avengers Age of Ultron.
Bro. And I just got a text and word that we get to go to this press screening.
And then I don't know, I think the next week's kind of slow, but the following week you have Mad Max.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I'm getting more and more excited for that.
Is going to be freaking like, okay, #1, Charlize. Anyone who can look is bald that can look banging still is banging.
She was there.
Charlize. With hair?
I honestly, unfortunately, did not get to interact with her, but she was there.
Did she have hair?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, dude. Charlize Theron is freaking absolutely stunning.
But I heard she was there. The Rock was there. I missed him too. I was bummed. I know. The Rock.
The Rock is freaking like just this inspiration, bro. He's just like makes you realize you could be the best. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, this is what me and James do. Like, this isn't even like we're on. This is just how we talk every day. This is just like
literally
normal
how we talk to each other, actually.
But yeah, next week, make sure to reserve your tickets to this, man, because it is going to be huge here, and I want you to be a part of history with us. I see the movie way in advance, but you know what I'll be doing Thursday night? I'll be here celebrating with this guy because it's so much fun to come to these screenings.
The big movies, man.
The big movies, and that's what Cinemacon is about. Celebrating film. Each week, me and James come here and we celebrate a movie. We are going to celebrate the movies that Marvel has produced on Thursday night. So make sure you're a part of that. And if you're not doing anything on Saturday, please come down to the West Sahara Library where James will be giving his beautiful mobilizing people speech or lecture, would you say?
How to be an entrepreneur.
How to be an entrepreneur lecture. And it's incredibly inspirational. I would honestly say that a huge majority of my success is based off of listening to everything this man has said. So make sure to tune that. I'll be there doing that too because I like to get motivation. And as we say here,
we're fired up in a big way right now more than ever before.
Fired up, passionate, motivated, in a big bad way like never before. Oh, I did it! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jacob Toronto of ChasingCinema.com. That's James Hsu of Mobilizing People. We're out.
And don't forget the Chasing Cinemas, the Film Lovers
website.